Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming back to the Not Move podcast hockey show in the Wickets with your two hosts here. Me, your boy Dollface Gremlin, the man to my side here, A Train, the best man from Colorado I know. And then, of course, we got a special guest joining us today, which is awesome to always get to talk to friends of ours. Yukon, how you doing, my brother?
What up, y'all? Shout out to the No Man Podcast, Mitch, Drew, Little, Stitch, everybody else over there. Shout out to them.
Shout out, no ma'am, and thanks for joining. We're gonna talk some hockey today. Of course, that's what we do here and in the Wickets. We chop it up on the ice. And first, let's just touch real quick. I know we're gonna get into the important stuff that we got to watch this last week, and of course, fashionably late as always. There's Southgate just coming in, trying to disrupt the show. What are you doing, Southgate?
Nobody knows.
Okay. Well, as long as you're here, we're happy. Uh, thanks for joining Southgate. Southgate, we got our buddy Yukon with us from No Ma'am. And of course, as always, A Train. Guys, we're going to get in the NHL standings real quick. So when we left it, of course, Colorado Avalanche sitting at top of the West with 83 points. A Train's boys really putting a hurting on the rest of the division. The next closest team, of course, is in their division, the Central Division, which is the Wild at 78 points. Then we have the Stars at 77. And then we finally see a team from the Pacific with the Vegas Golden Knights, 68 points. Um, Guys, we'll touch on this real quick. A Train, let's start with you, brother. Your Colorado Avalanche, of course, were looking really great this whole year so far. They've only had 18 total losses if we're including overtime losses, so out of half of those losses they're getting a point and extending that lead even further in the West. They're looking real good. And how happy are you feeling going into this Olympic break with the team sitting at the top of the NHL?
I mean, what more can I say? I mean, we are the favorites. If you look Vegas odds, we are the favorites. I mean, we have some of the greatest players on the planet playing on this team. So I mean, I really can't complain with how the season has gone. Cale Makar, Nathan McKinnon, and then a big guy came up today, right, in the Olympics for Team USA. So I'm definitely happy with where we are. We're the team to beat, in my opinion. I couldn't be happier with my team right now.
Yeah, I do agree. Your team in the West is one of the teams to beat. But what intrigues me about the West, and maybe you'll agree with me, Yukon, is I like the Wild. I like how they've been coming up. I think aside from whoever's going to win the Pacific, the Wild are probably going to end up getting that all important third seed. But of course, they're going to end up playing eventually the Avalanche because of how the NHL brackets the playoffs. What do you think about the Wild, Uke?
So if the Wild go how they did their last 10 games, which, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they won 7 out of their last 10.
Yep.
If they end up facing Colorado, depending on it, if they remain healthy, and that's been their issue this season, is the health aspect on their defense, their defenseman side. That's going to be the only team I think that could beat Colorado.
I like that take.
I do, especially now that we have obviously heard about the Wild shopping Wallstead to bolster that front. I guess they're looking for the front six to be bolstered up. We've heard plenty of things like we discussed on the last show about Billy Guerin looking for a Malkin or a Malkin type. He
Yeah.
wants that big, powerful center with skill. So if the Wild get that, it'll definitely heat up. Another team here, the Stars. Really a thorn in the Avalanche side if you think about it. They're these two teams. Yeah. There's A Train already letting us know how he feels about those dirty Dallas
Fucking hate them.
Stars.
Yeah, I hate them. I fucking
Oh
hate
my
them. They are always a thorn in our side. This is nothing new. Dallas is always a good team. I think they're sitting. What are they? They got 34 wins now. They're 34-14 or something like that. I mean, they're right on our ass, and it's like this every year. So
Yeah, and one of the things about the Dallas Stars is apparently they might have to shop Robertson due to that contract lingering. They did a lot of contracts, especially with Train's former boy Rantanen after he came over from Carolina, same season when they traded him. Southgate, is there any team in the West that you're looking forward to that maybe we should consider talking about? Someone who might make things feisty coming out of the Olympic break?
Uh, no. Um,
No.
I
No.
do know me. I'm getting back into this, so I'm just sitting back and learning right now.
Well, I'm going to assign you the Ducks. You're going to go do your Ducks research
Okay.
Ooh,
because Ducks got a nice young team. And they got a couple
Okay, so that's
Olympians
what I'm
too.
gonna do.
Get
that
our Ducks
that
research in for next week.
All right, I'm gonna become a Ducks fan now.
that
Yeah,
that's
because
that
Are they
that's
still
not.
Anaheim?
yes, they are. And
Okay,
plus,
see, I know that
yeah,
much.
because we're not going to really discuss your local team, the Rangers. I mean, we might
Ugh.
hit upon the Islanders,
I mean,
but we're
I have
not going to
three
talk about the
local teams.
Rangers.
I actually have the Islanders and Devils.
Ugh.
Yeah, jeez,
I feel bad
it's
for you.
I mean, I
wow.
have to be honest with you. I mean, the Prudential Center is beautiful.
It is. I've been there plenty of times in
Yes,
Newark. It's
it
awesome.
is very nice. It's in the worst part of New Jersey, probably around, but
At least there's a nice pizza shop across the street.
yeah, I mean, you have to drive there in a Brinks truck to get there safely, but it
I
is
would have gave
it is a beautiful stadium.
Yeah. What's that,
I would have
Uke?
gave I would have gave him the Kraken to be honest because if you look at their last 8 games prior to the Olympic break, if they change their mentality from like we've discussed this before with certain teams, if you have some teams that their fourth line is not complementing the transition to their first line. Seattle has that. They
Are,
just need to find that third line that can set
are
there
the
and be
Kraken winning
consistent.
right now? Are they
They're
in playoff
what are
contention?
they? 27-20. What? I don't know. I haven't looked
Yeah,
at
they're
Yes,
27-20. They're on the
You know
odds
what,
out
Gremlin?
there.
middle.
Gremlin, you actually said to
They're
me today
seventh right
you don't
now,
get.
maybe eighth.
Actually, Gremlin, you said to me today that you don't get enough time to pay attention to the Kraken, so I will take the Kraken.
Oh, there you take the Kraken, and good luck with those lines because you may have something in a nice top six, an aging Jordan Eberle, Jared McCain, the speedster scoring, but that bottom six, they don't know what to do with Capo Caco right now. They don't know
nope,
what to do with Shane Wright. They still haven't developed him well enough,
nope.
and the defense is lacking severely in the bottom. Um, Good team though to make some trades. They might improve from this trade deadline coming up. Now the East guys, what a mess the East is. Aside from really the Lightning, the Hurricanes starting to take the reins of their divisions.
The Canadians, right?
Well, the
They're doing.
Canadians are with the Red Wings right now. Those two are starting to really, they're doing their up and down path, right? The Red Wings just had a weird streak of being really hot in the beginning. Then they fell a couple games, giving two here, taking two losses here. But their last 10, they went 5-3-2, five losses, but two overtime losses. That's
Now I
important for them
have
at
been
least to
watching a
get the
little bit
point.
of hockey. The Lightning have the guy Hagel and Hansel.
Yes. Yeah. Gunsel, Hagel,
Yep.
Kucherov, Vasilevsky, Hedman,
From what I've seen
Radish.
out of that team, I thought they were very good.
They are very good. They've
Yes,
been
Yeah.
very good for a while.
I've watched a couple of their games and they really impressed me.
Yeah, the Lightning have done a great job. John Cooper, especially the coach who was coaching Canada, uh, just just a great coach. He knows what he has with his players. He knows how to use them. Especially, look how deep they are, though. Braden Point, who's injured, but when he comes back, he's going to be right back, right in the center of the lineup. Hagel, of course. Uh, A Train. What do you think about the Lightning as far as their Stanley Cup odds to possibly maybe meet your boys?
I mean, we've seen this story written before, right? They won the championship. We had to take
Wait,
the
actually, I'm
championship
sorry,
from.
H. I don't mean to cut you off. Do you guys want me to get you any Stanley Cup odds?
I mean, yeah, pull them up. I mean,
Okay, hold on.
I know we know where we sit. We know where everything kind of sits right now. Tampa Bay's like, I think they were 5 games ahead of Montreal right now, and then we have like Detroit, Buffalo, and Boston kind of middle of the pack on the on the Atlantic side of it. So, I mean, it's kind of a shoot right now, right, Graham? I mean, they're not too far off. Tampa Bay's at the top, but then we have everybody else kind of sitting right in that middle range, right? 30 win teams, right?
Yeah, really in that division too, especially it's Tampa Bay. In the East, it's Tampa Bay and Carolina. They're both sitting
Carolina.
at top with 78 points each. And
Yeah.
both of them, the thing is, Tampa Bay has 2 games in hand. They've only played 55, whereas Carolina has 57 games. So, that's a lot of ground to be had. And now our boy Yukon, his team is in the thick of it as well, though, in the Atlantic with the Red Wings. Yuk, why don't you give us some insight on your Red Wings and what you're thinking after the Olympic break is going to transpire for them?
I mean, you said it earlier. You were talking to A-Train about the thorn in the side of the Colorado Avalanche. I mean, that's a lot of noise in the background. The thorn in the Lightning side is not just a team; it's one player. It's Alex DeBrincat.
Yeah.
And if I don't remember, I believe they still have 3 games against the Lightning. So I mean, just them. Detroit's currently at what, 72 points, tied with Montreal.
Yeah, they're sitting at 33 and 19, if I'm correct. Somewhere
Yeah,
around there.
and
So
they've got 2 games on. They've played 2 more games than Montreal, and I believe
they,
they played the same amount as Tampa Bay. It's
they
not. It's
no,
not completely
Detroit
done.
actually has played the most games. They've played 58.
58, yeah.
Right.
They're 33 and 19, right, Graham?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, they are 33, 19, and 6.
And
So,
and
6, yeah.
they've played what, 2 or 3 more games than anybody else.
yeah, they have played.
It's
They've played at least one more game than everybody. At least one more than everybody else. Lightning for, I think that we forget they played the Stadium Series. And they had a little bit
yeah.
of time off for that, so they didn't get to play right off the bat before that because the most games in the East right now belongs to the Capitals. They have 59 total. But yeah, the Red Wings with 58, they're probably going to get a little bit of favorable schedule at some point to give them that break and let teams catch up, so they can make up this ground if they do, if they're able to keep this record of theirs, like 5-3-2. When you look at it, obviously us as hockey fans, last 10 games, we're like, ooh, okay, they've had 5 losses, but 2 of those are overtime losses, right? So they're getting a point. They need to up
Ghost
that
in overtime loss.
consistency. That needs to be 7. That needs to be at least, if we're going last 10 games, you need to be 7-1-2 in that range. We need to change the wins.
Yeah.
And it's not an issue for them. I mean, this All-Star break is going to help the majority of that team, minus Dylan Larkin. But you get that much needed break, and then you come back, and now you can sit there and this is what Detroit's needed because you can readjust your lines, right? And we've discussed this before about Detroit's line. They're not sitting there and making the correct decisions. I mean, JT Confer, Alex DeBrincat, and Patrick Kane, when they were on a line together, they were the most consistent line for the Red Wings. Why not go back to it?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the Dylan Larkin effect, maybe, because he's been so good with Raymond, and they haven't figured out who to put in that left wing spot, whether it's Casper or switching to Brinkett or.
I mean, well,
Uh,
at the first 16 or first 16 games of the season, it was Larkin, it was Raymond, and it was Finney. Finney played 8 out of those 16, or no, 10 out of those 16 with that line.
yeah, yeah, I think you're right. The line juggling, but you mentioned something earlier. You've been talking about your coaching for Detroit. Do you think that's something that needs to be examined a little bit more coming up after the Olympic break, heading into the trade deadline?
I think it's more than just coaching, to be completely honest. Like I've been a Red Wings fan my whole life, but it's to me, it's more it's coaching, but it's also ownership. And unless they address those things, we're not going to get back to our glory days like we used to. Because I mean, look at it a while back. Getting rid of not Pavel Datsyuk, but Zetterberg. When they got rid of Zetterberg, that was under ownership. and then they fired the coach 2 years later.
Yeah.
Why are you firing the coach when it's the owner's fault?
Right.
I mean, you make all these trades, you make all these moves, you bring all these pieces in, and then watch. I guarantee you, within 2 years, Finney's going to be traded, Raymond's going to be traded, and then you're going to blame the coach again. We need to get a new owner.
And with that, Southgate, what odds
Yes,
were
sir.
you able to pull up for us? Let's go with the odds for the Avalanche first, since they are the ones leading the way with everybody at 83 points.
Actually, what I was gonna think is, why don't you guys? Let's see if you agree with Vegas. Why don't you guys each give me your top 5 favorites to win the Stanley Cup?
We're gonna go Colorado, obviously, right? Number 2, we're gonna go Tampa Bay, right? Number 3, we're probably gonna go Carolina. Number 4 is where we probably get a little tricky. What do you guys lean in? Minnesota? Maybe a Minnesota or Dallas there? What are you guys thinking?
Minnesota at 4, Dallas at 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm good with that.
All right. Well, just to let you know, you guys hit the first 3 spot on. So
So I would say it's probably the Stars also involved in there, and the Oilers probably have high odds just because of Connor McDavid.
That's
Where do
fair.
the Oilers sit at, Southgate? Fantastic. So we're going to move on to talking real quick about the Eastern Conference while Southgate works out his muting issue. I'm going to touch real quick on my Pens. They're achieving more than they should right now. Very happy where they sit, even though they still with 70 points or more towards a 7 spot, possibly even a wild card at 8. Happy with that because Dubas, obviously, you guys, we've had the chance to talk
I'm
even
sorry. Can
on
you guys hear
lives.
me?
Yeah.
Now we can. So
I apologize. I got a phone call. All
no,
right.
it's okay.
So
Where do the Oilers sit in that ranking? In
okay. So
those,
we're gonna go to the 4th. Oh, all right. The Oilers are at 5th.
5th. Okay, good one there. All right.
yeah,
You're
that's the
right.
Connor McDavid effect right
That's the
there.
Connor McDavid. Yep.
Now,
Yep.
do you know who the 4th spot is?
Stars.
Nope.
Is it in
Montreal.
East?
And it wasn't Minnesota. I heard you guys say Minnesota.
Montreal. It'd be Montreal. That's the only
It is a
Montreal.
Western Conference team.
Okay, so then it's probably going to be
Golden Knights.
Yep.
Yep.
See, I don't agree with that.
I
Like,
don't
Neither do
agree with
I.
that.
They
I
got.
don't. We were saying this earlier. The Pacific Division is kind of mucky right now. Like
Yeah.
yes, the Golden Knights is 68 points, but Atrain, the Oilers are right on their tail with the Kraken, the Ducks right on their tail.
That's why I don't understand.
Well,
Maybe
it's kind
Vegas
of funny because
knows more than we do. Go ahead, Southgate.
I mean, the Kraken are like plus 35,000 to win the Stanley Cup.
That
Yeah,
makes
and I
sense.
think we would all agree.
Yeah, that doesn't
Yeah.
surprise me.
But after that, the guys, if you want to go 6, 7, 8, it's Minnesota 6, Dallas 7, and
Yep.
Florida 8.
Florida.
I get Florida
Yeah.
because there's they have injuries. Matthew Kachuk is going to be coming back. He was back for the last few games. Marchand is going to be coming back after the Olympic break. They're basically only waiting on who Bobbers and of course Barkov, which I don't think Barkov's coming back though, right?
I mean, they're a bottom team in the Atlantic Division. I just don't see it. Like, do they think
Are
they're
you
just going to
asking
have this
me
huge
or?
turnaround? They think they're going to
Well,
have this huge turnaround after the Olympic break?
I'm with you. They're a bottom team in the Atlantic. They're the 4th best team in the Metro if they were there. I mean,
I don't get it.
it's I Vegas. What are you doing, folks?
Maybe
Maybe
they're onto
that's what they're
something.
trying to tell us, guys.
Yeah, and if you want to round out the top 10, Kings at 9 and Capitals at 10.
The Capitals, I'm surprised also. I'm really surprised at that top 10.
Now, who are you surprised at who's not there?
Montreal, Detroit, and I'll be
Montreal
honest.
for sure.
Well, Montreal, they have a 12. and Detroit they have it 15.
I feel
Yeah,
like
Wow.
but
Montreal.
we're talking about you got the Capitals above those teams, and
Yeah.
bro, like the Capitals, they're yeah, I get they've had issues this year, but they're not what we thought they were going to be to start the year. They're
This is
just not.
surprising to me.
Vegas, I'm wondering, Montreal one maybe doesn't surprise me because of the youth element with them. They're still very young. Their rookie Demidov is leading the way for all votes. Lane Hudson in his second year. Slavkovsky, which we're going to touch on him. One of my favorite young players upcoming in the NHL. He is this Montreal Canadian seems very young. I'm surprised that they are not at least though. That I don't know what Vegas is thinking with this. The Capitals. I
The
I
I
can't.
Capitals.
mean,
That
I
can't be
mean,
Alexander Ovechkin. I mean, he's it's just like the Penguins. It can't be. It would not make sense for the Penguins to be in the top 15.
yeah, but you also got to realize we're talking about Vegas, right? Vegas is the same type of people that could have Goodland winning the gold medal game. Like, let's be real.
Gary
Let's be real.
Bettman's always a phone call away. I know. So.
The Capitals are like middle of the pack of the Metro, right? Am I?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Sort of, yeah. They were on a down. They were on a sort of a down last 10 games, 5-4-1. They got 5 wins,
bro,
but 4 big losses. I
the
remember a
Capitals,
couple of those.
the Capitals are the same team that lost by 7 points to the fucking Blues.
See, I don't get that. I don't know.
An injury-riddled Blues that was going up against a full-strength Capitals. Like, that defense, that goaltending is not there. So to be a contender, unless they're buying into trade deadline, like unless they're gonna find something to address that defense and a goaltender, they're not gonna. No,
No.
that's just wild.
Well, before we move on to women's Olympic hockey, I just want to touch quickly on the point leaders because I think we're seeing something really impressive this year. For 50, we'll say 57, games on average for everybody. Connor McDavid has 96 points already with 28 games in hand, 26 games in hand still. Nate McKinnon has 93 points with 20 some games in hand. Nikita Kucherov, 91 points with 20 some games in hand. And then the rookie phenom, Macklin Celebrini with 81. Look at how high these point totals are almost reminded me of the 90s, when we were watching Ray Bork and Lemieux skate around, Fedorov, Yzerman creating Sackett, creating big point opportunities. But, you know, I find it more impressive just because of how much faster we know the game is moving nowadays. This is moving at such a faster pace. But look at these guys scoring right now. I mean, Nate McKinnon leading the league in goals, 40, with still 20 plus games in hand. He has 40 goals already. So we're looking at a guy who's going to be pushing to 50 plus goals. Connor McDavid's right behind him with 34. Matt Boldy in Minnesota with 32. You got a bunch of guys tied with 32 who young guys too. Morgan Geeky,
So
Kaprizov, who just signed that massive contract.
I got
This
a question
is
for you,
this
Gremlin.
is
It's
impressive.
kind of funny because that's the Rocket Richard Trophy.
Yeah, Rocket Richard.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, Rocket Rashad. They have McKinnon as the favorite, McDavid at second, and then it goes all the way down to Baldy. He's plus 4,500.
So
Yeah.
humor me on this one, Gremlin, because you're looking at that. How many players in the NHL this year at this point in time have over 28 goals scored so far?
So looks like 15, 16.
Okay, and you made a valid statement earlier, right? Saying it reminds you of the 90s, right? You realize in the 90s we were seeing 20, 30. Sometimes I think the best season was in '98 when there was 45 people before the All-Star break that had 29 goals or more. We're getting back to that.
Yeah, and one big thing is it seems like, and you guys can tell me what you think. This is just an opinion of mine from watching the games over the years. It seems like goaltending has gotten worse. I don't know how.
It has. It has.
Where
Yeah,
see,
it's
whereas maybe I'm just feeling nostalgic, but it seems there was a time when each team had a somewhat relevant goaltender, right? Whereas now we can kind of throw away a couple teams' goaltenders without even a second thought.
I
I
mean,
mean, look
and
at
to hold on real quick, to the casual fan, Connor Hallebuck, a Jordan Bennington, right? Outside of those guys, what does the casual hockey fan know when it comes to goalies?
nothing.
Not much, I would say.
That's
Nobody's
it,
going to
right?
tell me who Cam Talbot is. Nobody's going to talk to me about John Gibson because John Gibson has never won a cup. They only know people what the national media gives them, and that's what we're here for is to talk about this. Like Ryan, who was like A Train said, the goaltending situation, it seems to be a time when we're like he said, Connor Hellebuck, Vasilevsky.
I mean, so if you, but you also got to look at it like this too when it comes to the goaltending. And I've noticed this over the past few years. You go back into the 90s and early 2000s with the likes of Patrick Waugh, Dominic Hasek. You had you had Quick. You had Henrik Lundqvist. People like that, right?
Yep,
The the size of the goaltenders is completely different.
that makes sense too. I mean,
Because I mean, tell me this, right? You look at I'm gonna use Patrick Waugh as an example because regardless of him torturing my Red Wings for years, that is one of my favorite goals. Do you really think these over the shoulder up against the bar type goals, these wraparound goals and stuff like that would happen to those guys?
I mean, that's a tough one.
Yeah,
Well, one thing those goalies have over goaltenders today is they could handle a puck without having to be scared.
exactly.
You could see a guy come out of the net, handle the puck, make a quick pass. Like who was one of the most famous was Marty Turco. Marty Turco was able to handle the puck, make a great pass off the boards to help bump it up to Brett Hall or Madonna, one of those elite Dallas forwards at the time, and they're on their way to scoring a goal. Guys, today we see the goaltenders, and I'm glad we turned this into a goaltender conversation. They don't handle the puck as well. A lot of it is just straight mechanics. They rely on straight mechanics. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of natural instinct in there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then real quick, thank you guys we're for joining us today. We're going to talk about sponsors real quick since you guys joined us. We do got to get through this because we're going to hope that you can all uh, enjoy the benefits of being with the Not Move podcast. We got Dubby energy drinks. A Train was very vital in getting those to be our sponsors. They've got delicious energy drinks. You can check them out on Dubby on their website and use the code Not Moved. You're going to get some good percentages towards some Dubby energy drinks. A Train was, like I said, vital in getting them on board, and it's great to have them. We have our NFL shop, MLB shop. We have the Walmart shop. Use all that. Go through there for the Not Move. We got links connected to this live right here for our podcast. And if you go check us out on the website, you'll be able to get to those links. And then finally, we got mybookie.ag, where if you use that code, you're going to get a percentage towards that first bet. So, guys, here we are. It's time. Women Olympic hockey first. We're going to touch on the women because they were the ones that got it started. It was wonderful to see our ladies run roughshod through the competition. It was fantastic. I love watching the ladies run roughshod. Um, you know, 4 games, 5 goals, 1 goal let up. If that's not dominance, I don't know what is. A Train, how great was it to watch the women completely put on a show that we already knew about, but the world had to find out.
All right, so two things that I want to hit on this one because you got to love the women's USA team. All right, so this team has outscored opponents 20-1. All right, they have had 3 shutouts in a row. Like, if you want to talk about total dominance, how more dominant can you be? Not only on top of that, that dominant Canadian team, which hockey, originated out of Canada, first shutout ever, right? First shutout ever to Team Canada. So this women's Olympic team, they're hot and they're on a roll right now.
Yeah, yeah, Uke. What about the women's U.S. team? Did you enjoy the most besides watching them just put a slew of goals on net? Can you hear me, Uke?
Sorry, just got home. What'd you say?
Okay, what did you enjoy the most about watching the women over these past four games, putting five pieces on our opponents the most?
The fact that I have an amazing wife that loves sports, and she's been waiting for a fight to happen.
You should have informed her. She's gonna have to wait till maybe the last game, gold medal game. That might be it.
I mean, she the other day she said she thought it would happen against Canada, but didn't happen.
Well, one thing I think was really great, and Southgate. I know you were watching some of the women's games. Was just how it seemed like they were able to pass all over the ice with ease without any problems against
Yes.
this low. What I hate saying this lower competition.
Right. Yes. It's been very exciting. It really has.
The and ca- and by the way, folks, we talked about us putting an egg on Canada there, letting Canada lay the egg. Canada had a game today that completed the preliminaries where they routed Finland 5-0. So it's not that they had an off game against the United States that they lost. It's because the United States was that good.
I mean, and we're
um
talking about that Finland team, Gremlin, that's coming off of the norovirus, right? They beat up on a
yeah,
team that's coming off a virus. I mean, I'm not moved.
I'm not move either. And the United States decided to do that too. They had to wait a day. They had that virus run through them, and then finally the U.S. champing at the bit was they put a five piece on them.
Right.
So, but we have the quarterfinals coming up, and before I touch on that, hey, we got to give a shout out to Layla Edwards, guys.
Right.
Layla Edwards. It's Black History Month, so we got to talk about something very important, which was she is the first Black woman to score a goal for the U.S. Olympic team. She's also an incredible player. And was at the University of Wisconsin. Just one of the highlights of many of these women. But it's really important to see this kind of representation across the game. A Train, how great was it to see this?
I mean, so let's just put it how it is. You can only name a handful of African American hockey players that have been dominant, well, for the men, let alone. But to have a female athlete of African American descent do something like this, it's historical. And my hat's off to her. And I'm just happy. I'm happy. It's good for hockey. It's good for sports, and couldn't be more proud, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and, how about you, Yukon? I like Layla Edwards. I did pay attention to her at the University of Wisconsin when she was there because she put up really good numbers too. It's not just the fact that what she's doing for the Olympic team. She put up great numbers in college. How awesome is Layla Edwards?
Well, she's amazing. And low key, she's gonna be the one to throw hands. Watch. Um, but what a lot of people don't realize is her, Aaron Jackson, and Shakari Richardson all have ties to each other. So it was gonna be a given that she was eventually gonna succeed at the Olympic level in the sport that she enjoys.
Yeah, yeah. And also she's this year for Wisconsin, no slouch. She's got 21 games in and 36 points. 8 goals, 28 assists. And the most important number here, she's a plus 21. So she's a plus 21 with only 4 penalty minutes a whole year. And it doesn't,
Where is
we
she
shouldn't.
from, Gremlin?
She is from the University of Wisconsin.
I'm saying,
And she's
like,
actually
where did
from
she grow
Cleveland
up?
originally. She is a Cleveland native originally.
Oh,
From
Cleveland. Okay.
Yeah, and so it's interesting what's going to happen too, because I think, and I'm really hoping we get to see her in the PWHL, the Pro Women's Hockey League that has been going now for this year. That is also on break. Everything's on break for the Olympics. I can't wait to see this league develop so we can get as great of athletes that we're touting for, the WNBA, because hockey has always had these athletes, but because it's such a quiet game, we don't get to talk about it as much.
Yeah, facts.
So, but that's the right now, American women, Layla Edwards paving the way. Quarterfinals, guys. First game tomorrow, 10:40 Eastern Standard Time. The first game is going to be Czechia against Sweden. Czechia against Sweden. Sorry, Czechia. But the women, the more important game for all of us, 3:10 Eastern Time tomorrow, United States against the host country, Italy. Um, I'm thinking that this is just going to be a smackdown of a game. Southgate, what do you got for this game?
I mean, I think the U.S. is just gonna skate through them. It's not even gonna be fair, to be honest with you. I can't believe Italy even scored that first goal the other day. I called you as soon as it happened. It happened like a minute into the game. I'm like, how was Italy up 1-0? But the only way that something strange happened is if they do what they did today and keep taking goals away from our guys.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah, let we're gonna get there next.
There's only
That
so many
was
they can take away,
frustrating,
though.
guys.
But yeah, I believe just from an Olympic standpoint, Italy's actually leading. They're the host, and they're actually leading in gold medals. So it's a little something to prove there, in my opinion. You know what I mean, Graham?
Yeah, with it, there's always something. If any of us have watched the Olympics, all the host country always gets a little boost.
Yeah, they
No
do.
matter what the team.
Yeah, they do.
So, and the next game though is going to be on Valentine's
I,
Day.
s-
As
I said that the other day, did I not? When we were sitting there
Yes,
talking. When it
Yeah.
yes,
comes
you
to
did.
these, when it comes to this, I guarantee you, there's going to be at least three calls that don't go the women's way on the U.S. side because they're going to be favoring Italy come that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and then Valentine's Day is going to finish off our quarterfinals. We're going to see on Valentine's at 10:40 a.m. As we're all spoiling our special someones, our significant others. We're going to see Canada against Germany. And then we're going to see at 3:10 p.m. Finland versus Switzerland. I'm picking Canada to beat Germany. The Finland Switzerland game is interesting to me. I think that's a really toss up. A Train, what do you got? I know you're going to pick Canada, but Finland Switzerland, that's toughy for me.
Yeah, that's going to be the flip of the coin, right? I mean, uh, I don't quite get into the women's hockey quite as much as you do, so you're going to know a lot more than me. But yeah, I can't give you a solid take on it. I'm not going to speak on something I don't know super, I'm not a lot about. You know what I mean?
Uh, So they played in the preliminaries, of course, and Finland won 3-1, but it was a closer game than 3-1 indicates. We as hockey fans know that 3-1 doesn't indicate it was a blowout at all. It probably means more along lines it was a tough game. Um, so I feel like this game could swing anyway, but I'm going to go with Finland in this one. Um, just something about this Finnish team I like better than Switzerland. Um,
Switzerland only has the one win in a shootout, correct? Is what I
yes,
saw.
yeah, Switzerland did not do very well, and if there were more, if there were better teams, I don't think Switzerland would have got in. But unfortunately, Japan's hockey team isn't better than Switzerland's right now. Otherwise, they might have had a chance.
Yeah, we
Um,
got we got one team coming off the neurovirus, one just barely winning their one game off of a shootout. I mean, flip a coin.
yeah, it's brutal. And real quick, also before I don't want to miss this because we got some really important news also for the Olympics. Hillary Knight tied the all-time scored goals lead with Katie King and Natalie Darwitz for all time for Team USA, 14 goals. She also is up there and right under for points at 31 points behind Jenny Potter. So we might be able to see young Miss Hillary Knight crack the record for US in single tournament points and points in women's history, goals in women's history. So this is going to be something to watch. We want to
Why
keep a
is it
watch, and
not showing?
it's always awesome to witness greatness happen in front of us. So
Right.
I'm looking forward. I wish Hillary Knight the best, and I hope she does get these records. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Is it sad that I want to see Switzerland in the gold medal game just for shits and giggles?
I mean, no, because I want to see it too. I want to see it too. I want to
I'm
see what
talking.
goes
I'm
down.
talking about the women. I'm talking about the women
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
got they got that one fucking defense woman. I'm not gonna say defenseman, defense woman. That bro on the ice, she looks like she's 6'6" and could swallow me. Like she's a badass.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I want to see Swiss women just because I like their talent. They're always such a good team, men and women both. They just have a good hockey program. To be honest, it's low key. Sometimes they're winning, sometimes they medal, but they're always in the mix, and that interests me. Um, Guys, we got to see our first action of men's hockey today. It was really fun games that we got to see completed. So we got to watch Slovakia and Finland, which Slovakia won 4-1. And Slavkovsky was the one who scored the first goal of the games, which I don't know if anybody remembers that young man, the last Olympics, tore it up. I'm so impressed with him. He's such a young guy still. He's big, he's
Why is
strong.
it not showing the rest of the score?
So Slovakia 4-1. A Train, what's your impressions on Slavkovsky as well?
Yeah, I mean, so what I took from this game
I
is
already checked it.
I don't want to butcher the goalie for Slovakia. I don't know if you know it, but I'm not going to try to attempt to say his name. But he stopped 39 to 40, shots. I think that Slovakia obviously was the more dominant team. I like them more all around than Finland. That's kind of really my take on that game.
Yeah. Southgate, what I know you watched some of the Slovakia and Finland game with me while we were talking online. And we noticed that, the first period really seemed like at the end there, Finland was getting a gas, but geez, period two and three, bye
I
bye,
I
huh?
I was impressed with Slovakia. I think they'll go further than what people think.
I do too. I really like their roster. They're full of young guys. Slovakia has a nice roster, so that is a team to look out for. The next game that we got to see was Sweden and Italy. That was a complete rout.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure all of us watched that. I know you did, A Train, and Gate did, Yukon. I'm not sure how much of the Sweden Italy game you got to see. Yeah. Um, Brutal Bob Evans and Sweden, of course, my boy Eric Carlson from the Pens was able to get a helper in on that. Uh, Sweden, I was surprised without Leo Carlson, how strong they still were down center ice. I didn't expect that because I told you guys I thought it would be Sweden against US going for the gold. But when I found out about those injuries, I wasn't sure, and maybe it's because they're playing Italy, and I don't want to, crap on the home country, but
Well, I
they look
mean,
like they're ready to go.
it was 26-3 on shots in the first quarter.
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
That's a route. When you see that stat, you're like, yeah, it's going one way.
but I think
yeah.
at the score at the end of the first quarter was only 1-1. That's the scary part.
It
That's how
was.
games start, though. I mean, you got to think about it. Look what happened in our game. It doesn't
Yeah.
start quick.
Yeah, we're gonna finish
The,
with that because that was good. There's some stuff we got to talk about there that we both noticed, and I also want to go with Canada before that because, but Switzerland, France. After that, 4-0 Swiss puts a piece on France, and It's just like the women's team. I'm sorry, I don't want to say this, but I'm surprised they qualified. I'm surprised they qualified to get this far, even into the Olympics. If I'm being 100% honest, France doesn't. They haven't moved me. They have never moved me. They're the type of team that doesn't move many people. What do you think, Uke?
So, look, I can't say it any better than you did, other than the fact that I'd rather go to sleep than watch them. Just being honest, like I really like that. Yeah, no, I'm good. Like, bro, there's certain teams when it comes to Olympic hockey that when it comes on, I go to a whole different sport.
Yep.
I mean,
Uh,
look, I'm sorry, the outside of the USA game today for men's hockey. I mean, I was sitting there watching the new season of Lincoln Lawyer. I was not entertained with those games. Just saying.
well, I know Southgate was entertained because he and I were going over some of the fun wagers beforehand for Sweden and Italy, weren't we, Southgate? And I think we both were able to nail out our boy Mika Zibanejad.
Yep.
Sabinajad.
Zibanejad.
Yep.
I love saying his name. I love
We're
it. I like him as a
100%
player,
gonna
and
do
I
that
love
name.
saying his name.
We're gonna 100% do that name segment with
And
Southgate.
Graham, who was the other goal they took back on the US?
Okay, we, so two frustrating goals really happened there. The one they
No,
took
what was
back
the one with
because
JT Miller?
yeah, I think that was Brock Nelson that tipped in that, which is hilarious because Brock Nelson ends up getting two goals in the game, but uh, he tipped
My
it in,
guy.
and that's right. He tipped it in, and now luckily, TJ Oshie, I'm glad he's on the in between the intermission panel because, like UConn was talking about earlier while we were all chatting during the game, they changed the rule about the obstruction of the crease in the goalie compared to the last Olympics, didn't they? So, UConn, I think you were talking about it more. How many inches now they said that they have to be away from the goalie?
18, I think you said,
Any
right?
anywhere between 10 to 18 inches away from the goalie, i.e., away from the edge of the blue. Technically, there was 9 crowns thrown that whole line.
Wow, and if anybody, I guess maybe we're too used to NHL hockey, right, guys? Because the international rules are slightly different. But we watched that, all of us watched that today, and we're sitting there with magnifying glasses, even like, well, how is that goaltender interference? A train, I know you probably saw it and were shocked as hell too.
Yeah. So when you guys were talking about it today, I think that's going to be one of the ongoing things as we go through these games. Um, I mean, what are we going to do about it? You know what I mean? What we're going to be frustrated. It's going to happen. I don't know what else to say about it. I wasn't happy about it. I could tell you were pissed, Graham. Like, this is what's going to happen in these games. I feel like we're going to see it more and more through the rest of this.
Now, Graham, the first one was it Brody or something like that?
So the first goal was Brock Nelson. They called that back, I think, because of an offsides. The
Yes.
Yes.
first call was an offsides, and they said, or no. Yeah, the first one was an offsides. The second one was the goaltender interference. But the first one for the offsides, they could not get a good camera angle to verify that. They were trying to show it on TV as best they could, and if it all, I'm surprised the ref was able to find a good camera angle to verify it. But in the end, if they're calling it like that, it's like that. It's that quick of a decision, that quick of a call. That one I was able to swallow a pill more so than the second one. The goaltender interference, I get the rule change. So you got to abide by the international rules.
Right. And the
I
game
mean,
was.
that
Go ahead.
goaltender interference led to a
Oh,
fun
wait,
way.
no. That's who it was. Was it Matt Baldy?
Matt
Yeah,
Boldy.
Yep.
that when we were sitting there discussing the goaltender interference, it set up a perfect layup for me to sit there and get Gremlin to crash out. It was so
Well,
fun.
and here's the thing: that game's not as tight as it was. Being tied 1-1 after the first period. it's not that tight. You know what I mean? So it's almost like it kept them in the game in the first period, but then after that, the start of the game, Brock Nelson took over with 2 goals. Let's be real. He was the MVP of that game, and that's representing for the Colorado Avalanche.
I agree. Brock Nelson had a great game. It's funny, he goes on to have a better game after one of those gets called back on him. So Brock Nelson, way for him to keep, that just that U.S. mentality. One thing I noticed about the U.S. Was how physical they were the whole game. They brought the body. The Kachuks, of course. Hey, Brady and Matt, bring it back on board, fellas. This isn't Four Nations, so don't go fighting. So we don't have you for the next game. But A Train, how good was it to see the U.S. bring the body to this game too?
And I mean, and so obviously we know the star power that's on Team Canada, right? But we're formidable, and this is what I'm happy to see. Austin Matthews, Tage Thompson, the Hughes brothers, our goalie, like there's just so much. Hallebuck stopped 17 of 18 shots. Like we're all around, just we're a great team, and I think that we can compete with Canada, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think
Compete? You
so.
mean you mean beat?
I
Like
hope. I mean, I hope, but that Canada team's scary. Let's be real.
Yeah, yeah.
everybody's scary until they put their skates on and end up falling flat on their face. Just saying.
Well,
What is Canada known for?
well, one thing that Canada is known for is having a badass power play unit that they completely put on display in that 5-0 rout of Czechia. Czechia only had a chance, I think, within the first 10 minutes because the second and third period and the second half of the
True, but
first
I
was
mean,
was all Canada.
we discussed this. We discussed this the other day. Like, and if you look at it, the whole who Canada had to play in Czechia, who United States had to play in fucking Latvia. Like, this was these. Like, it's just cakewalk games for them. Like, you're playing a middle school team. Like, you're not playing anybody favorable in that aspect of things, bro.
Well, I think the difference here is there was a point in this game for Canada where I watched them do the same plan of attack, 4 different rushes. They get the puck down in, they dump it back up top, then they get it to one of the defensemen, and either Celebrini on that line is hanging out front like he got the first goal, or before that, you had Crosby hanging out in front of the net, and before that, you had Canada was putting one person in front of the net, using the other guys on the outside, having the defenseman rotate up top and blasting that puck, looking for either a rebound, looking for a tip in, looking for some type of deflection. Canada was really trying to go with that plan of attack, and it succeeded in the first period right off the bat. At the end there, Macklin Celebrini gets that goal, and then look what it does. It just opens the floodgate because there would they, you know, Czechia didn't make much of an adjustment on that in the second period. I don't know if anybody else noticed how many times that same type of play was set up again and again and again. John Cooper, he has the talent to do it. He's going to engage that same type of system that he uses for Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Yeah,
So I,
I'm worried about Canada. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm worried about Canada. McDavid 3 assists today. McKinnon, Stone, Suzuki, Calabrini, like Jordan Bennington 26 saves. This Canadian team is no joke, boys. I'm sorry, they're not.
no, the Canadian team is completely something to be worried about. Southgate, I know you were looking at the Canadian team earlier because you were looking at the roster and you were interested at some of those goal scorers. Um, Now that you've gotten a chance to see some of what they can do, what do you think about Team Canada in this tournament as opposed to maybe what you thought beforehand?
I thought they were gonna put up more goals than they did. With that all star lineup, I didn't get a chance to watch the whole game, so I don't know if they were just not meshing well together or what. But maybe you can give me a little insight on that.
I think
I
this
mean, you
is
got to understand, it's the first time since 2014 that the NHL players have competed in the Olympics. So obviously they're gonna have to
Yeah,
mesh well with that. It's gonna take them that first period, second period, maybe even a full game before they actually get that camaraderie back. Regardless of how much they've been training together and whatnot, it's gonna take time.
I think that's correct. You also too. This was the first international game for everybody. Everybody's getting their feet wet. It Little bit of apprehension. Especially with a team like Czechia. They've got some players on that team. Like Pasternak is on that team, and if anybody noticed, he was skating very well today.
Yeah.
So, they're feeling the teams out. If anything, we've got some interesting hockey coming up tomorrow that's really going to also tell us some stories. Also real quick note, which it shouldn't be a quick note. Germany won 3-1, and I know Southgate was very happy because our boy Draisaitl scored the first goal.
Yeah, you got
Um,
to watch out for that German team.
Leon Draisaitl. Yep. Nah, he's a great player, huh?
Gosh, watching him play with Connor McDavid is just
I
those two
actually think he's the best player
incredible.
in the Olympics.
Don't do that.
Nope, don't do that. Don't do that.
Hey,
From what
hey, if
I've
Germany
seen.
ends up going to the gold medal game, it will be because of him. It will
That
be
was
because of
true.
Draisaitl.
That's true.
So tomorrow, fellas, we've got some games coming up for the men's tournament. Again, we got 4 games on the slate starting at 6:10 Eastern Standard Time. Little rough for our West Coast and Central friends, I understand. So try to catch the replays on Peacock if you can. But the first game is going to be between Finland and Sweden. I am really interested for this game. This is going to be a game about speed and technique. Uh, I think Finland is probably going to make it close, but Sweden will win 3-2. Yukon, what do you got for that game?
I got Sweden so surprisingly. Like I'm sorry, I'm gonna go with Sweden on that one because I'm not like watching what Finland did their their first one. I'm not too thrilled. Like when Aho is your best player, that's all you gotta say.
Yeah. Facts.
A-Train, who you got in that game?
I'm with you
I would
guys.
assume
Yeah.
Sweden.
I'm rolling with you guys. I mean, I can't take Finland. Come on.
And what about you, Southgate? Finland, Sweden, who you picking?
Who's Nylander play for?
Nylander plays for Sweden.
That's who I got.
Southgate's
Hey,
all into it now.
sometimes that's all it takes, right? One
Yeah.
Nylander.
I
I
like
love it.
Nylander.
So
We're gonna make you a hockey fan, sir.
we are.
I was a big hockey fan. I just fell off.
No,
You
we're gonna
do
ring
sound
the
like a
light.
big honky fan. So
No, I
we're
was.
I was. We're
is
getting you
uh
back into the thing.
he is a hockey fan, folks. The second game, which is also going to be taking place at the same time. I don't like this in the Olympics when we have games taking place at the same time, but I
Yeah, I
get it.
wasn't crazy about that today either.
Yeah, we missed the German game. You and I were trying to catch a lot of the German game, and we couldn't even find it because it's buried behind everything. So,
Mhm.
but Italy against Slovakia, I got Slovakia in a wash of Italy, like probably 4-1, 5-1 in that game. What do you got, Southgate?
I got Slovakia. So I really don't believe in this Italy team. Um, it's I don't know. I'm just afraid when there's a bunch of guys named Ski on the team. That scares me. Like Dalbert, Davosky, Juju, Stafosky. Like when the skis come for you, you're in trouble. That's the way I feel.
I love it.
Hey, coming soon to the Not Move shop. When the skis come for you, you're in trouble. Get
You're
it
in
on a
trouble.
t-shirt. You can get it from Not Moved. Uh,
The skis. Watch out for the skis.
watch out
We're,
for the skis.
we're gonna have to make a shirt.
A Train, who do you got? France and Italy and Slovakia. Southgate's got me all messed up with the skis.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah, I'm probably gonna be rooting against Italy for for most of the Olympics just because they are the home country. I mean, I just I'm just gonna constantly be rooting against them. It's just gonna be that way. I'm sorry.
And then Uke, of course, my friend. I assume you're going to roll with us and take the Slovakian train against Italy.
We're taking the underdog story. Italy wins in a shootout.
So
I just can't
if
see.
anybody disagrees with that, go see my man Yukon, and I'm sure he'd love to play a wagering
I
game
just
with you.
can't see Italians winning in hockey. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I can't remember a time in my life where I think Italy has won a medal in hockey. I can't. Maybe I'm just a bad. I have a bad memory, but I don't think so.
I mean, I grew up in New York with too many Italian friends. I've never seen them with a hockey stick in their hands.
Yeah, they're used. I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going
Noodle
to
us.
leave it at that. The next
Noodle
game
us.
is going to start at 10:40 a.m. This one, I also think is just going to be a boring game for us, folks. It's France versus Czechia, and I think Czechia is going to beat France, but it'll probably be like 3-1. I don't know. I don't think France, also another team I'm not moved by. UConn, what do you got?
I got France.
Oh my gosh, here we
Nah.
go. Upset Central with UConn from No Ma'am, everybody.
I'm kidding. Nah, France. I don't know. This is gonna be a rough year for them. They don't have what it. Well, let me say this correctly without irritating people. They don't have what they used to have to be a powerhouse in hockey no more. They don't. And if
Uh,
you disagree with me, I don't care because they
A
don't.
train,
They,
France and Czechia.
Give me Czechia. Give me 2-1 Czechia.
I mean, Czechia is like east of Germany, right?
Somewhere in that region.
Yeah. As soon as you get east of Germany, like I told you, I don't fuck with those countries.
you
Jesus,
got a lot of
Southgate.
skis out there.
Interesting.
Well,
The
most of
Well,
our
French are too
viewership comes
pampered.
from there, Southgate. Good
What
job. No, I'm
happened?
just kidding. No,
yeah.
no, I'm
Thanks.
just kidding.
Wait. Our European friends are now not going to be watching Not Move. Thanks,
No,
Southgate.
they're dangerous. The French are the French are too pampered.
Well, the French are dangerous too. They just get you over time with slow butter in your veins.
Yeah.
They get
I
that
mean,
butter in your veins over time. The France, they play the long game. Okay, don't take the France for granted. The French for granted. Last game, 3-10. Canada versus Switzerland. I I got Canada just absolutely putting the clamps on the Swiss team, and
be careful there.
I think Canada's going to win five
What?
to four.
Yeah, what?
I think
Those
Canada's going to
You
win
guys
Swiss
are
five
are
to
some.
four.
crazy.
Listen, those Swiss are some sneaky bastards. They can hide money and they can shoot pucks. I'm telling you.
And plus, their sticks have like 80 different attachments that come out. You know, they have a screwdriver, they have a toothpick in it,
Yeah.
there is another mini screwdriver, set of tweezers.
You guys
Okay,
are
you guys
crazy.
suck. You guys suck. That joke completely went over your heads. Canada versus Switzerland. You, who
They
you
don't even
got?
know what a Swiss Army knife is, Gremlin.
No,
I
it's
know what that
I've got
is.
Canada.
Yeah, I
what are you
hope
thinking
so.
score wise?
I honestly think that's going to be one of the lowest scoring games that we see in the early stages. I don't think it'll be a 3-2 game. I don't think it'll be too high scoring because
Who is the
regardless what
best
we say,
Swiss player?
regardless of what we say about Switzerland, regardless of what we say about Canada not wanting to see either of these teams do what they do, they arguably got the best two goaltenders right now.
Well, I Team USA, I still think holds that cake with Hellebuck and Ottinger,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But yeah, they've got some toughies. A Train, you, my
Give me
friend, Canada versus Swiss.
give me 3-0 Canada. Give me McKinnon with 2 goals. Give me Connor McDavid with the other one. So that's what I got.
And there you go, Southgate. There's the European viewership dropped by two, so I think we'll survive. Uh, So finally, guys, with this one coming up, we're gonna also see games on, Valentine's Day. Hopefully, ladies, you're all hanging out with us after we're done spoiling you. Of course, pampering our loved ones out there, is giving them the best treatment possibly. Maybe you can join us for one of these games. Maybe one. Is that too much to ask, A Train? Is that too much to
Nah.
ask, UConn?
No,
Nope. Everyone
Think
get your
we're
I know where
special
I know
lady friend. Yep. Get your
just just
special
I know
lady
one.
where my
friend to
wife
watch
would be.
hockey.
Yeah, just one. Southgate. I don't know about you and your household. Are you guys gonna be? Maybe you get one game too. Just one.
I get all the games. My wife don't even like me.
Oh, okay. Well, the
I know
games
where
on
my wife's
Valentine's
gonna
Day.
be at.
The games on Valentine's Day are going to be Germany versus Latvia. And then at the same time at 16 in the AM 610, Sweden versus Slovakia. That game I'm really interested in. Sweden versus Slovakia, Valentine's Day. And then later on in the morning, we have 10:40 Finland versus Italy. I think Finland takes that one. And then, of course, what we're all excited for, US versus Denmark. Just all excited to see our boys go out and play on the ice. That one's going to be a 3:10. Guys, finally, it's coming to, I know, A Train's favorite part of the show. One last thing we're going to do. Thank you, sponsors, W Energy Drinks, okay? MyBookie.ag, NFL Shop, MLB Shop, Walmart. Go hit the links through our wall. Go to Not Move Store. We're going to have that shirt coming from Southgate. Watch out for the skis. It's going
Yep.
to be in there. It's going to be in some nice Denver colors, too. So we're going to go and talk now about the only player of the week, Cale Makar. A Train, your boy, Cale Makar, who was, of course, number 4 overall in the draft in 2017. Seems like probably a lot of people are kicking themselves in the butt now. Uh, this guy is only 27, and it already seems like he has had a career in such a short time in 7 years, this being his seventh, where it matches peaks of people like Paul Coffey. He's skating in the Paul Coffey, young Paul Coffey realm.
Oh, I'm gonna throw some big names out there on this one. I'm gonna take the floor just because this is my guy. All right, Graham. If I could just have
Clear
this
out.
one this week, he is my guy, right? So yeah, obviously the fourth overall draft pick in 2017. He was the best player coming out of college, so people should have known what he was about when he came out. After that, he won Rookie of the Year. All right, we got the two-time James Norris Trophy winner. Won the Stanley Cup with the Colorado Avalanche in 2022. In that same year, won the Conn Smythe Trophy, MVP, Most Valuable Player in the League, 2022. The five-time All-Star. This guy's amazing. Let's be real. Not only did he do all of that, he won the four. He's a Four Nations champion. I'm just gonna throw that little bit in there. The 2024 EA Sports cover man for the hockey video game. So it's hard to grace a hockey cover. So I'm gonna give him that accomplishment. All right, let's be real. This guy's the best defenseman in all of hockey, right? If he's not one of the best players, he's definitely the best defenseman. This guy looks like a figure skater on the ice. The speed bursts, he looks. This guy's amazing. Just the speed bursts alone. If you look at the offense, the skating, you put all that together. I feel like this man has the ability and he's on the trajectory to not only be better than Bobby Orr, but I'm going to throw another name out there. Sorry, UConn. Nick Lindstrom. I'm going to say that Cale Makar is going to surpass both of those names. There's my hot take.
You're dirty. You need to go take a shower.
I wasn't trying to throw
You're dirty for
shade,
that.
but I have the best defenseman in hockey, and I am going to flaunt that shit.
Bro,
I
not
mean,
only was that a hot take, I was scorching Bobby Orr. Ooh,
Bobby
that's
Orr.
that you're dirty for that.
It's going to be better than both.
oh man.
Bro, bro,
Bruins
saying
fans
saying
at A Train, NMP. Make sure you hit your conversation
bro,
pieces with
look,
him.
I train. You are my boy. I have a lot in the utmost respect for you, but saying that is like saying that saying that is like saying he could take on Zendino Chara. Don't do that to yourself.
Let's be
You
real.
can't.
He's the real deal. Let's be real.
Yeah, I do want to point out some stats from Cale Makar here in Southgate. This is someone you're going to want to start getting into as well since you're hopping back into the hockey world with us. Cale Makar, definitely for me, uh, one or two. And I say one or two just because, I really, really like Quinn Hughes right now.
Yep.
And I think he's right. This is Cale Makar, and then Quinn Hughes is right here for me. But Cale Makar has this special ability that, for a guy who is able to skate like he does, being 6 foot, with to be able to handle the puck like that as a defenseman, to just skate from one end to the other and just absolutely bury it on a beautiful deke. He is one of my favorite defensemen to watch skate. I just watching him skate. He doesn't have to have the puck. Watching how he paces along the blue line when they're in the offensive zone, but then all of a sudden you see him jump down to cycle the puck. The speed on this guy is incredible. Yukon, what do you like about our boy Cale Makar?
Um, to take the shadow away from A Train on this, um, yeah, let's see, how do I word this without A Train not letting me show up ever again? Um,
Sorry.
he he's up there, but like I want to see him keep this consistently, and I say this with the utmost respect. And you look at, we've said this earlier. We've talked about different genres, different ages, different years that people have played. But you look at people like Zambino Chara, you look at Chris Chelios, and in my opinion, that's two people that you can arguably compare him as, like with the physicality and the ability to, like you said, skating, his ability to get that spacing without the puck. That's a Chelios move. Hands down is a Chelios move. Have we seen a defenseman like that in the last like 10 years? No. Is he going to be up there for a while? Yeah. Until the next great thing comes in and graces a team like the Rangers, and then we don't hear about Makar until he leaves Colorado.
You're tripping. He didn't like that Nick Lindstrom take, did he?
No,
No,
I think that hurt him a little bit. One guy that Cale
blasphemy.
Makar One guy that Cale Makar I compare to offensively who is currently playing the game is Eric Carlson. Eric Carlson's very much a one-way defenseman. He's offensive. He handles the puck when he wants to well, but Cale Makar is like a 10-time better version of that, right? Where he handles the puck like he's a forward, skating up ice, developing on the wing, or he handles the puck through people. I want to say this, and A Train, you can backslap me if you want. I think he handles the puck better than I see Nate McKinnon handle the puck. Nate has this erratic pace to him that sometimes it feels out of control when he's got the puck. Hale McCarr just glides through with the puck on his stick as almost he's got that thing with tape and velvet on the puck. And it's just beautiful to watch him slither through there and still keep so much control. Like, and Nate, don't get me wrong, Nate McKinnon is one of the best hockey guys hockey players in the world, especially with a puck. But there's just a smoothness to Makar that I can't describe. Like with a defenseman like Bobby Orr, that's one of them that I've watched old tape on, and yes, I like that take with the comparison. Greater, we'll find out. We still got plenty of time, hopefully, with Makar, but the smoothness of him handling the puck, I haven't seen for a long time. I really haven't.
Yeah, check him out, Southgate. He's
I
fucking
will.
legit.
I'm on him.
Yeah,
Yep.
and Southgate, just to give you a heads up, buddy, he won the Calder. He won the Rookie of the Year. He was all rookie first team that year. The second year, he came in second in Norris voting, which is the best defenseman in the league. Already second in Norris voting as a second year guy, 22 years old, with only 44 games played that year. And then the very next year, he wins the Norris. Of course, he won the Norris. That's the Stanley Cup year. That's where he just shouted to the world, "Hey, I'm the best defenseman in the league." It was 21, 22, the Cup year. That was also statistically one of his better years as far as, plus minus, especially plus minus. He was a plus 48 on the season, guys, by the way. Plus 48 for a defenseman at 23 years old. Jesus.
The
His
only thing
time on the
is, I
ice in
mean,
his career is 24 minutes and 49 seconds. This dude averages almost 25 minutes on ice per game. That's incredible that he's able, and he's still efficient even at the end of his shifts. Um, he's only getting better, guys. He's getting better with blocks. He's starting to hit more now. Finally, he's coming out of his shell more there, being a little bit more physical. And 27, this is when you peak in hockey. This is it. 27 to 32 is when you're in those absolute peak prime years. This is it for you guys, A Train. Uh, what do we know about his contract? I don't know anything about his contract. How long is he locked down in Colorado?
Yeah, we should definitely pull that up because I don't know the exact numbers to that. I think we've locked him down, but I'm not sure how long. We'll have to look up the exact numbers.
I
All
would
right.
be a little more nervous if he had a ski in his last name, but I'm definitely gonna check him out.
Yep.
How do you feel about guys whose first names sound like a vegetable?
Give me an example.
Kale.
Nah, no,
That's his first
Okay.
name, Southgate.
yeah.
Cale.
Yeah, I'm sorry he can't be Eggplant Makar, but we've
Wow.
got we've
Wow.
got people naming
Pause.
kids. We've got
Pause.
people naming kids. Yeah, pause. Timbo, thanks, bro. We got people naming kids weird things. We might see it soon. This man was locked down in 2021. He got that contract for 6 years at 54 million
Yeah.
total. Which, guys, let's also shout out to all the hockey players getting underpaid compared to all these other major sports. Hopefully, they get that big deal one day because unlike some other leagues who are complaining about money, they have revenue. They're in the black.
Right.
So he's locked down, though. Here's the bad part, A Train, next season. So this season looks like it's probably extension season.
Yeah.
Right now at 9 million average, what kind of deal do you think they're going to offer him to try and lock him down? Obviously, he is their premier player with Nate McKinnon. When you
Yeah.
think
Come
of
on.
Colorado, it's Nate
Yeah.
and Kale.
There's two guys that we're gonna throw the bag at. It's Nate the Great, and then it's Cale Makar. Let's be real. There's no hesitation on giving both of them the bag. Everybody else we can fill in. Those are two of the best players in the world, and you do not let them walk. Let's be real.
Yeah, luckily Nate got the bag.
Yep.
This past year, right? I think it was in
Yep.
the off season or no,
Yep.
in 2022.
Yep.
But you got him locked down for 2030 to 2031. He's
Yep.
at an average of 12.6 a year right now. Um, I honestly think Cale Makar might get close to that when his contract comes. I'm
Oh
thinking
yeah.
11 or 12 for him, since especially the NHL salary cap's going to be going up. UConn with a guy like Cale Makar, you have someone who's a premier defenseman in the league on your squad, and Moritz Sider, which Moritz Sider is more so obviously a defensive side of the defensive position. He's more defensive, but he has those offensive flashes of brilliance. To compare the two, since Red Wings, Avs, famous rivals that we all loved watching growing up, what is something like you're seeing from Moritz Sider that is a good comparison for Cale Makar as well? Something you like about both those defensemen that is similar? UConn.
Their patience with the puck. Let's be real. How patient they are with the puck and able to an ability to find those passing lanes, i.e., like, and this is where Snyder I think has that passing edge, and I could see Cale Makar get there. Is Snyder a lot of the time he's on the ice with Patrick Kane, so you get somebody like that to pair with Cale Makar and give that ability to hey, this guy can be a premier passer too. Like it's not. It's something that I want to see more of when it comes to him.
Yeah, hmm, I don't know. I don't know what more he has to get to pass to because that Colorado Avalanche team is almost like a mini All Star team. I'm gonna be 100% on that.
Oh,
Uh,
I mean it is, but I'm just saying like his ability to pass and what he's been doing at this age. I'm just saying like once he starts seeing different lanes that not most defensemen see, it's you're going to see somebody that is arguably somebody that you could use, and he can be very versatile in this aspect, and somebody that you could, if you need be, say you got injuries to your forwards and whatnot, you somebody you could see that could, hey, we got an extra defenseman, let's throw him out there on that line. He's going to get to that point where he's going to be one of those few players we see that could sit here and potentially play four positions on the ice.
and with that, we're gonna be back in action next week. A Train, give us some last topics, maybe last things to point out about our boy Cale Makar, the player of the not moved player week. What do you think? Last things that maybe we didn't touch upon or something that you want to just stress on Cale Makar.
I just, what's not to love about the guy, right? He's young. He's exploded off the scene from the get go. How faster of a start do you need than, coming into the league, being the best player in college, coming into the league, winning Rookie of the Year, winning Best Defenseman twice, probably going to win it again this year. So we'll add three of the best defensemen. You add an MVP, you add a Stanley Cup to that. Like, the resume speaks for itself. The man is the best in the league. He is the best defenseman in the league. That's it.
Yeah, he definitely is. Southgate, I know we're going to be talking this week, and you and I are going to be chopping some hockey up. Um, what are you looking forward to this week? Because we're going to be back in action, of course, same time next week on Thursday at 8 p.m. But of course, what are you looking forward to this week for the hockey games in the Olympics?
Hitting more polys.
That's right. That's right. And maybe our boy Better Betters is going to be able to hop in and do his thing in the morning since he's doing the
Hey,
NBA
I gotta
shows.
drop, guys. I got a phone call.
Hey,
Okay.
Uke, thanks for joining us,
Thanks
brother.
for
We will
joining
catch you
us.
next time on the hockey show if you'll be cool enough to join us. Thank you, my friend. So thank you from No Man for joining us. I appreciate y'all doing this too, but we're going to get out of here. Thank you once again. Keep watching the Olympics. Keep watching hockey so you can come in next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got my boy A Train, opposite direction. Always forget. Got my other boy Southgate. He's going to be trying to hit them parlays and looking up for the good ones. So if you hit us up, whether it's on X, TikTok, we're going to help you out, get you some good information. Stay with Not Moved. Thank you guys. Keep it real. We'll see
Be
you
good.
next week.
Thank you.
Not moved.
This non-casual podcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or reused without the authorized written consent of the Not Move Podcast Network. Thank you, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.